Wofford was working the back door, but unable to get the ball to him. Hamrick steps back and falls as the ball falls through the rim.
Just better shooting by the Redhawks right now. They're flying high, should we say.
31-20. 3:33 left. Brady inside to Linton. Linton's 15-footer off the baseline. You can count it.
Good answer by Linton. Again, he had 21 points in the last game against Cleveland.
Hamrick's shot was long, but coming down with the rebound was Gregory. He pushed it to Linton. Linton off the right side and fighting and volleying and coming out with it, Singleton. And a fresh 20. Preddy straight to the hole, up and under the Jaguars.
Good answer. Good answer. 2 straight buckets.
But you can't let him go down and get easy chances like that as Deshaun Ross. As Presnell checks in for Fuller, Jones will check in for Ross.
And again, those rebounding is one of the biggest reasons why Catawba Valley's in the lead right now. They're up 17-8 on the boards. Jaguars got out-rebounded mightily against Cleveland in the last game as well.
Singleton for the corner off the base plate. Right at hands of Wofford. Wofford to Jones. Jones to Hamrick. Hamrick rifles one over to the corner, and Presnell. Evan Presnell misses the opportunity from deep.
10 turnovers for Catawba Valley. The Jaguars have yet to make them pay for it.
10-6 on the turnover category. Jaguars struggling from deep and on the boards as another board goes right to Jeremiah Jones. Dribbling out of control right in the hands of Preddy. Preddy, 1-on-4, drops it off of Linton. Linton going up with the finger on the Jaguars within 5.
Hey, don't keep doing that until Catawba Valley can stop it. Just keep feeding 5. They don't have anybody who can really man him up.
Oh, and Presnell answers with a straightaway 3 to stop the 6-2 run.
Final minute and a half of the first half. See what the Jaguars have in them to try to close this deficit down as Elijah Preddy responds with 2 points of his own. And now a steal by Preddy too, Petey. Coming back across the other end.
Preddy stops from 15 and flushes it home. Jaguars within 4.
And that's what I mean. Make them pay for the turnovers. Go down, find an easy shot.
Jones to Presnell. Presnell says, give me distance, I'll show you. Put a hand in my face is what Presnell's telling Johnston. Correction, that was Linton. Presnell a 6-0 run himself.
6-foot sophomore guard. Presnell playing with confidence.
Jones with the foul. Jeremiah Jones picking up the foul. As we're back here on Super Bowl Sunday as the Jaguars face the Storm from Davidson-Davie in the first game.
Big game here Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and then, Super Bowl starts at 6:30. As the Lady Jaguars on the road tonight to Lewisburg. At halftime, we'll go get some stats from that game, and hopefully the Jaguars pick up the win.
Lady Jags have won 2 straight. Looking to make it 3 tonight on the road.
Jaguars trail by 5, 37-32. Corner back out to Dunn. Dunn loses it to Jones. Jones ahead to Sewell, and Sewell slams it home.
Just good hands to deflect a pass out of Jaden Dunn's hands. He didn't do anything extracurricular to lose it. Just good defense by Catawba Valley.
Gregory answers with a 3.
And no shot clock now for the Redhawks. They can run this thing all the way down. Let's see the commitment to defense here by the Jags. Can they prevent Catawba Valley from putting any extra points on the board here in the final 6 seconds?
Presnell with a hot hand. Goes right side to Hamrick. Hamrick with the 3 and off the mark. Dunn pushes it ahead, and it does not fall. Halftime, Jaguars Down by 11 in the first half, trap it down to 4, and we're at halftime, 39-35 at halftime here in the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. Region 10 basketball on this beautiful Thursday night in February. We'll be right back here with stats, facts, and figures after word from our statistician and our sponsors.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jaguars trail at halftime 39-35 against the Red Hawks for Catawba Valley. Petey Doris, Craig Green here, Jaguars Sports Network, taking a look at it inside the box for the first half. Craig, I tell you, Jaguars for a slow start like they did, to be only down by 4 is awesome.
It's a great thing for them. I mean, it's, again, they started really slow. They fought their way back after a 12-2 deficit, took the lead temporarily, and then had another big lull. It's been a game of runs. We've seen the Red Hawks once again take control, but then we saw the Jaguars fight their way back. But what they've been able to overcome is the poor rebounding by the Jaguars. They've been able to overcome that. They've also been able to overcome not being able to turn second chances for themselves. The Red Hawks are shooting darn near 50%, actually over 50% from the field, because of the fact that they've created multiple second chances.
Yeah, take a look inside the box. Sponsored by Style Street Barbers of Apex, North Carolina. Field goal percentage for the Catawba Valley Red Hawks, shooting 52%. They're 18 for 35. They shooting 33% from 3. Out-rebounded Jaguars 19 to 10. We've got 12 turnovers. Jaguars with 7. Their biggest leads 29-18, as we said, at 11. But I tell you, Craig, it was for what the Jaguars started off 3 minutes without a bucket in the first half. Really hurt because the Jaguars fell down right out the gate 6-0. And the Red Hawks just climbed and went up 10-2, 12-2, 12-4. Jaguars put on a 6-0 run, Jaguars got within 1 a couple times, and then it's just like you said, it's been the Red Hawks jumped out and put a couple big runs on the Jaguars, and that's why we stand at 39-35 halftime. Craig, you got some individual stats for the Red Hawks and the Jaguars?
Red Hawks have been led in scoring in the first half. It's really more of a team effort on the side of Catawba Valley. They're led in the first half by their leading scorer, Nassim Fuller, with 10 points, 3 rebounds, followed by Presnell, who has 8 points, 3 boards, then followed by Benton Wofford, 7 points and a rebound. Their leading rebounder was Jones, who had 5 rebounds in the first half. And then for the Jaguars, PD, Elijah Preddy leads all scorers, 12 points, 2 rebounds, followed by Jaden Gregory with 8 points, 2 long-range buckets for him. And then Michael Linton has 6, and he got those 6 in the final 10 minutes of the first half. Leading rebounders for the Jaguars, Anderson, Dunn, and Preddy all have 2 rebounds apiece.
All right, you got 7:45 left here inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. Halftime. We're going to take a quick break and come right back here with third quarter action in Region 10 play of NJCAA. Welcome back inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium to Jaguar Sports Network. Petey Norris, Craig Green here, calling the game inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium as we welcome in the Catawba Valley Redhawks in your Johnston Community College Jaguars. Halftime 39-35. Craig, what do the Jaguars need to do in the second half? They plan on picking up that dub tonight.
Crash the boards. Crash the boards. Second chances. Crash the boards. You cannot let this team, the smaller team, out-rebound you. They've been more active. They've had more energy. You need to play with energy, play inspired. I mean, there's not a play in the world you can draw up unless you have passion, conviction, and confidence behind the actions you are trying to execute. So crash the boards, play with conviction, play with confidence, and you are going to win this basketball game tonight.
Because if you take a look, Craig, at the stats from the first half, Jaguars shooting 22% less than Catawba Valley. Catawba Valley edging the Jaguars in the 3 column. They've been out-rebounded by 9. Jaguars got 5 less turnovers, and they only trail by 4.
Just little things here and there, and that's why, you know.
I tell you, the 2 threes by Presnell coming off the bench with 3 minutes, as he come in and gave Fuller and Ross that break. And Jones and Presnell come in, and I tell you, that was the 2 threes, but the Jaguars able to track a couple of those back and some turnovers. But I tell you, Jaguars need to strap up and get ready with the ball to start the second half, and we're underway in the second half, trailing by 4.
Feed the big man, Michael Linton. Feed him.
As he's got a mismatch. He's got a height advantage over Strong Bird down low. And you can see he's got it to Preddy. Preddy starts off with a brick. It's Fuller. Euro steps in the paint. Back out. Jones to start the second half. In and out, and it falls.
Lucky bounce for Jones. The bounce that Preddy was looking for there, but unfortunately it benefited the Redhawks early on. But again, feed the big man, Michael Linton, right there on the post. Feed him.
Dunn works inside to Linton. Linton driving, trying to get separation, stops. But Jordan Strong Bird with a hand and didn't get the call. Fuller to Jones, top of the key. Presnell.
Look at how much space the ball handlers for Catawba Valley end up getting every time they catch the basketball.
Pryor starting off the same way he did in the first half. Real quick for the big man.
Things breaking down for the Redhawks, but they're still finding a way through it and able to score the basketball. And just like that, 5-0 to start the second half for the Redhawks.
Dunn gets separation, mid-range, and you can count it.
And perhaps that'll get Jaden Dunn going. I mean, just 4 points in the first half, 2 of 5 from the field. They need his offense as well.
Jordan Strong Bird is fouled, but a late whistle. Down low.
And not a lot Linton can do in that situation, but a good foul and force Strong Bird to convert from the line. PD,
makes it an 8-point lead.
We were trying to keep up with the Lady Jaguars as well as they traveled to Lewisburg College. And unfortunately, they fell on the road 89-56. So that ends their brief 2-game winning streak.
Linton pulls down the rebound for the Jaguars on a missed free throw by Jordan Strong Bird. Dunn, opposite side, and volleying and coming out with it is Presnell. Presnell takes the defenders to the hole, back out to Pryor for 3, and all alone down low was Quavion Anderson. Jaguars 2 quick boards. It's one thing the Jaguars weren't able to do in that first half is pull down a board, but they got 2 out the gate. Here is Presnell spins straight to the hole, and he's fouled. And picking up the foul is going to be on bring it up to Michael Linton. And that's his second foul here in the second half.
Yeah, no real foul trouble for the Jaguars to speak of coming into the second half. So Coach Creasy should be able to deploy his game plan in full without worries of having to pull somebody to give them a little break.
Redhawks are 2 for 4 from the charity stripe by Strong Bird and Presnell. Inside to Linton. Linton trying to take Strong Bird, but stops and pops, and we have 2 Redhawks on the floor as they collided.
Yeah, one of them is Fuller, the leading scorer. I think they're going to be okay. They just kind of collided. Fuller
and Strong Bird.
Yeah, Fuller grabbing his lower extremities and calling for a sub. Not a good development. Hopefully Nassim Fuller will be okay.
Looks like Benton Wofford checks in for Fuller. Not sure if it's a hamstring or what it was. Looking towards his right, limping on that right ankle as he's walking, trying to walk it out.
Strong Bird looks like he's all right. They just, 2 players collided, just like you said, and as Fuller walked past the table, I was trying to pick up what he was saying to Coach Johnston, but I could not. But we do know it's something on the right side of his lower
down
body.
low. Nice feed pass right there all alone, Justice Pryor. 48-39.
Back up to 9 again. But now with the leading score for the Redhawks out of the game, can the Jaguars take advantage defensively?
Dunn is fouled by Presnell on the reach. Dunn has the hard dribble.
Still got to find a way to feed Linton, but when they're feeding him, but they need to feed him closer to the basket. They're giving him the ball 18 to 20 feet away. That's not his wheelhouse. He needs the ball right there in the low block so he can operate.
48-39, Jaguars trail. Coming to play to Dunn. Dunn drives, kicks it to Linton, baseline, 18-footer, and he'll shoot 2.
Good for Linton to go to the line here, but again, want to see the Jaguars feeding him a little closer to the rim. And Linton isn't afraid to take that fall-away mid-range jump shot, but again, I think he operates much better when he's 5 to 10 feet away from the basket.
Tonight's game is brought to you by First Flight Credit Union. For all your banking needs, contact First Flight Credit Union. 16:49 left, and Linton missing both free throws as Jordan Strongbird grabs the rebound. Pryor left side to Wofford. Wofford popping out was Presnell off that baseline. Presnell looking for high screen, rolls left.
Good defense by Jaden Dunn to cut off the baseline.
Pryor's pass was turned over. The Jaguars with an opportunity to capitalize. And who else but Elijah Preddy.
And good job by the Jaguars to get back down on defense, recognizing that the Redhawks are trying to move quickly. 3 straight rebounds for Q Anderson.
48-42, Jaguars looking to put together some splash here. Linton driving, stops, and Jordan Strongbird with the foul.
And again, good. That's right where you want Linton to catch the ball. Underneath in the low area, let him operate, let him spin and do his thing. He drew the foul, that's what you want.
He's the doctor down low, let him operate on the Redhawks. Make sure he's a veterinarian tonight. Linton makes the first. 48-43, 15:54 left. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Jaguar Sports Network. Linton.
2 of 4 from the line in this game.
Pryor flashing in the front court, driving, and Q Anderson with a push.
Pryor extended his arm first. That wasn't caught. It's usually the reaction that is caught by the referee.
Presnell from long range, and who else but underneath but Jordan Strongbird with the rebound and a putback.
Second chances led to that. Got to box out better. I mean, again, you have the bigger team with Linton and with now Regquan Johnston coming back into the game. Got to box out against Strongbird and Pryor. See, good job that time by Johnson, who took a shot to the face.
That's not sure why Justice Pryor stabbed the ball out, as he had the advantage underneath with the rebound.
Well, Pryor jumped over the back and wasn't called for that, and he swiped Regquan Johnson in the face, but that all was led, I mean, that whole sequence was led by Johnson with a good box out.
Q Anderson taking it straight to the cup off the left side, and the Jaguars within 5.
It's just simple things, PD. Rebounding, forcing turnovers, and then going down and getting an easy bucket. I mean, you know, but I mean by easy is closer to the basket. Look at that defense.
Great block by Elijah Preddy. And fighting and coming out with it is Jones. 20 on the shot clock. Jones drives, throws it up with the circus shot. And Anderson with the block.
And Coach Jay Creasy's saying, how do you foul him jumping in the air? Inquiring minds want to know.
50-45, Jeremiah Jones to the line, 67% free throw shooter on the season, makes the first.
Jones up to 6 points. And was he was the leading rebounder for the Redhawks in the first half. He had 5 rebounds. Now up to 7. As he had 2 offensive boards that led to the foul.
Jones makes both free throws, and he'll be subbed out as Deshaun Ross checks in for him. We got a 30-second timeout, Craig. Start the second half. Jaguars down by 4 at the break. Saw themselves slipping away early, but able to climb back in it into the Red Hawks nest. And like you said, you pointed out a couple times, they need to feed the man in the low post. They're not doing it. We're seeing too much 1-2 ball on the guards. We need to see the mismatch down low, how we can capitalize on that. I tell you, nobody could tell us. We got the best seat in Selma right here.
That's without a fact, Jack, right here courtside at the Richard B. And what we want to see here, PD, just like you said, just like everybody out there watching want to see a Jaguars victory. How are you going to do that here? Offensively, I mean, right now, you don't have Linton in the game. But I want to see these guys feed the big man down low. I mean, you need to get Strongbird and Pryor in foul trouble, and then that's really going to hamper their rebounding efforts.
Hugh Anderson for the Jaguars in foul trouble at Essex. Dunn is off tonight, shooting poorly from the field. Fuller. Back out to Fuller, top of the key, steps in, long 2, flushes home.
Looks like there's no problem with his lower body on that shot, did it?
No, sir.
So whatever was ailing Fuller, he's back. And just put his 5th point, actually his 12th point on the board.
Preddy's ball was stabbed out by Deshaun Ross. Preddy inbounded in front of the Jaguars bench.
Got a bunch of shooters out here with Regquan Johnson. McLean, Gregory, Preddy, and Dunn.
Johnson down low for the feed for Preddy and the Jaguars. Break to ice, 54-47, and Johnson. And up with a foul. He fouled Ross.
Yeah, both players hit the floor pretty hard.
Got a media timeout, 54-47, Jaguars trail the Catawba Valley Redhawks.
Part of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just
Catawba Valley to the line to shoot 2 is Deshaun Ross, and he makes the first. 55-47. Last time these two teams met was just over a month ago, and the Jaguars won 80-79. They need a lot to change in a final 13-50, and they plan on getting a victory here, Craig.
Well, just like what happened in Hickory that night, the Jaguars had to come from behind to get the victory.
Ahead to Sewell, and Sewell losses as he goes up, and fighting Fuller. Trying to find Sewell, but should have took it up. As he chased Sewell was right there, but the pass looked like a Garrett Cole pass from the line. Baseball season
hard.
pitchers and catcher report on Valentine's Day. Just next Wednesday, make sure you get the love of your life. The gift from the heart. Dunn trying to get separation. A nice stab out by Chase Sewell with the steal. Baseline's cut off, but he finds Ross, and Ross will head to the line to shoot 2. He makes both of them in the last trip.
Jags piling up fouls pretty quickly. Going forward, Catawba Valley will be shooting 1 at a minimum. They'll be in the single bonus for the 1-and-1 on the next foul.
Ross is shooting 2. Made both of them the last trip down and starts off hot this trip. 10-point advantage. Redhawks matches their biggest lead, 58-47. Preddy looking for a screen, and it's stabbed out. 20 on the shot clock. Preddy 35 feet from the goal, and it's great defense. Ahead. And lays it up. Chase Sewell.
Yeah, Sewell tried to dunk it. Realized he didn't have the hops for it. Just had to kind of let it go, and it just ever so gently fell into the rim.
Singleton out to Preddy. Rifles one over to the corner to Dunn. Dunn drives baseline. The foul is going to be on Wofford. Benton Wofford.
Guilty of holding along the baseline, trying to prevent him from going to the bucket.
Dunn, spin around, jump shot, and coming down with it, Hamrick. Hamrick left side to Wofford. Wofford feeds Ross. Ross says, give me time, I'll put it up. And fighting and coming out with it are the Jaguars off of Sewell.
Another turnover for Catawba Valley, 15 for them, 10 for the Jags. The Jags still unable to take advantage of those turnovers. Way too many empty possessions. Linton back in the game for the Jags. McLean, excuse me, that is Singleton.
And fighting and coming out with it. Jump ball, and it'll go with the Red Hawks. Deshaun Ross.
A 21-12 advantage in the second half for Catawba Valley here in the first 8 minutes and 17 seconds.
The dance team for the Jaguars sitting over there flat-footed. Need to get the crowd involved. Wofford from the corner. And all alone with the rebound and misses it was Fuller. Johnston lays it up 1-on-2, and the Jaguars stop the bleeding.
About time they got on the board. They needed that. And that time Hamrick hits a three. A correction, a two-pointer, my fault, two-pointer.
62-49, and frustration done. Dribbles, and it's off of the Red Hawks.
So here comes Q Anderson back into the game. Regquan Johnson will sit. I would love to see if Coach Creasy would put Johnson and Linton in the game at the same time. You know, just to crash the boards. Right now he's got Anderson, Singleton, McLean, Jaden Dunn, and Michael Linton. So Linton getting the ball too far away from the rim, PD.
And he knows that. That's why he's not penetrating or anything. He's great defense. 4 on the shot clock. Dunn from the corner. Linton with the rebound. Can he put it back up? He does. Does not draw the foul. Is coming down with it is Fuller. Fuller ahead to Wofford. Wofford lays it up and it doesn't fall. Trying to draw the foul is Q Anderson. Acts down the rebound. Dunn. Driving. Circus shot. Not sure how that fell for Dunn. 62-51.
They need every piece of luck they can get right now, PD, with 10 minutes to go in this game. 10-10 exactly. And down by 11 on the road.
Hamrick misses a three, but right there all alone was Chase Sewell with the putback.
Again, crashing the boards. That's what has Catawba Valley up by 13 right now.
64-51, biggest lead. And Singleton with the foul.
Rebounding story right now, PD, 34-18 in favor of the Redhawks. And I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest reasons why they are in control of this game. I mean, they've turned the ball over more than enough times for the Jaguars to have been able to take advantage of it. But again, they're cold on offense and they're not rebounding the basketball.
9:47 left. Dunn with 16 on the shot clock. Catawba Valley threatening with great defense. Anderson's wraparound layups blocked. It will be Jaguars ball with 2 seconds left.
Jaguars have to be aware of how much time is on the shot clock here. No excuses for another shot clock violation, none. Whoever has the quickest release needs to catch the basketball and put it up.
Singleton puts it up, a shot clock violation. 60, that's a 5th shot clock violation tonight. 64-51.
Just way too many empty possessions. Not
Fuller
good enough
get away
execution.
with the travel. Wofford rises up and flushes home. 15-point lead.
And they make the Jaguars pay for it once again. But still time to come back in this game, but you have to execute. You've got to crash the boards. You've got to play with some conviction. Play with some passion and some confidence. Under 10 on the shot clock again, PD. What have they done with the basketball offensively?
We got a kick ball. Got a timeout, 66-51, full timeout. We're going to take it with them. Jaguars trail.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Sit back and relax. Your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Down by 4 at halftime, trailing by 15. 66-51 Jaguars on Jaguars Sports Network. PD Norris, Craig Green, 5 shot clock violations tonight for the Jaguars, tallying up 11 turnovers and being out-rebounded to the Red Hawks.
A recipe for disaster, a recipe for a 5th straight loss. But you can right the wrongs starting now. If you execute better, there's a turnover.
It starts one play at a time. Singleton into Preddy, and Preddy comes back out. Backdoor to Singleton, drives, and it's snatched up by Hamrick.
Yeah, good defense by Hamrick to get his hands on the basketball and not to touch Singleton. It's going to be Jaguars basketball with 15 on the shot clock, 8:18 on the game clock. But again, let's see what they've got here. They basically got 5 shooters on the floor now. No real true center or forward. Well, correction, actually, if Q Anderson out there, the only forward on the floor for the most part.
Emmanuel McLean handling the ball, driving, and is blocked. And he's fouled by Malik Hamrick.
So free throws coming. That's a good thing for the Jaguars, but you have to make them now. You have to make the Red Hawks pay for stopping the clock.
Clay makes the first.
It's his first points of the game. Didn't take a shot in the first half, but he did grab a rebound.
Makes both free throws as Johnston checks in for Gregory.
Yeah, Coach Creasy has 3 shooters out there now. Got McLean, Singleton, and Preddy. All have long-range capability.
Tell you, fouling Deshaun Ross is not going to help. He's 4 for 4 for the charity stripe here in the second half.
Sure won't.
Looking to make it 5 for 5.
And the only thing that Singleton didn't do well there was give Ross a place to land because he played pretty good defense. He just didn't give him anywhere to land. He made contact with him on the way down. If you notice, the whistle didn't blow until Ross hit the floor. And that's because Singleton made contact with him as he was coming down.
Makes both free throws 6 for 6 for the charity stripe. Deshaun Ross. (68-53), 15-point lead. Nice pass. And going up, Michael Litton.
Yeah, good pass by Preddy, and also good awareness and good execution by Linton to be able to ball fake, keep control. And tell you what, right there, Deshaun Ross selling the heck out of that foul on Linton. This was soccer. He might get a yellow card for embellishment.
It's Q Anderson's picking up the foul.
So that's 4 on Anderson. He's going to have to sit.
.724 left. Ross misses the first free throw of the second half. Singleton looking for help as he hands it off to Preddy. Trying to feed Linton way too far from the goal. Linton, baselines cut off, great defense by Fuller, and he travels.
Now, what in that situation, what Preddy can do to help Linton out to establish the position he needs is he needs to penetrate more and get off the three-point line. Penetrate a little further into the paint, draw your man further towards the restricted area. That's going to help Michael Linton out the next time around.
Rises to the top and flushes it home, back to a 15-point lead. As Evan Presnell looks to check in.
Now watch what they do here if they try to get it to Linton. Will they get all the way into the paint? What in the world was that?
McLean seeing an opportunity as not as great as Chase Sewell on the opposite end, 17-point lead.
The Redhawks have continued to make them pay whenever they miss. And Jaden Dunn with another wild shot. Timeout Coach Creasy after that. He wants to talk it over and come up with a plan defensively.
As a deep threat for the Catawba Valley Redhawks, Evan Presnell checks in. We're going to take a break with him, 72-57.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Catawba Valley look threatened with a drop in the Jaguars to their 5th straight. As they lead 72-57. PD Norris, Craig Green here inside the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium in Selma. Presnell breaks the press. Ahead to Presnell. Presnell kiss off the glass and Singleton with the rebound. Singleton stops in the front court, goes right side to McLean. McLean to Dunn. Dunn driving.
Feed him right there. That's where Linton, see, Linton was pretty close to the paint. Got to feed him there.
Fouls on Justice Pryor. Pryor picking up his second. Dunn to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Misses. Sewell driving, switches hands as he goes up, and it's 74-57.
Nice move by Sewell. And again, Catawba Valley taking advantage of a opportunity presented to them. The missed free throw, they go down in transition and score.
Linton for 15, no, and coming down with the rebound, Fuller to Presnell. Presnell sprinting in the front court, drops it off. Justice Pryor puts it on the floor, and Singleton with the steal. Malik Hamrick goes up, contested the shot, and it falls for Singleton.
Nice take by Singleton. Fights against the defense of Hamrick, able to take the contact, go up, score the bucket. I mean, 5 minutes left, PD. This is your chance to make a run here.
Presnell goes right side of Hamrick. Hamrick goes inside to Sewell. Sewell drops it off to Jordan Strongbird. Correction.
That one should be on Gregory.
Drops it off to Pryor. 4:52 left. Justice Pryor to the line. Pryor, 50% free throw shooter on the season.
Redhawks are shooting free throws from here on out.
It's 50% still. It's 1 of 2. Correction makes both of them. 76-59. Pryor for 3, no, and Presnell with the rebound and put back, and it's blocked. Presnell hits the floor along with Dunn. Dunn will shoot 1 and 1. Had to be after the Pryor. Correction, had to be after Presnell's shot. 4:36 left, 76-59. Dunn makes the first. Jaguars average 85 points per game. They're 25 short tonight. The game would end right now.
It's been a struggle again offensively. They've got to find their rhythm. It's been quite a few games where they've kind of lost their way offensively and been scrapping for points at the end.
Coach Creasy calls a timeout, trailing by 15, 76-61.
What you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how.
Catawba Valley with the ball, with the lead. Pryor with the turnover to Linton. Linton takes it up, contested with Pryor.
And that should be foul number 5 on Pryor. He's going to take the seat for the rest of the game as he has been disqualified. And here comes Jordan Strongbird to take his place. Another athletic player. But Linton going to the line for 2. Trying to build on his first half where he had 6 points. Here in the second half, PD, he's got 6 points in the second half as well, going for number 7 and 8 to give him 14 on the game. Should he knock down these 2 free throws?
They've been feeding him all down low in the first half. He could be the highest scorer for the Jaguars.
And they could be in a better position to win this ball game as well. Linton did lead the team in scoring against Cleveland. He had 21 points in the last game. Jags had a short bench that day, so it led to more opportunities. But again, Linton proves that you feed him the ball down low, you know, he's going to make things happen.
Second chance shot for Chase Sewell. Back to 16. Preddy stops mid-range, and Hamrick with the rebound. Looking up to Presnell. Presnell kissed off the glass, and the bank is open in Selma.
It's getting late early, PD. This thing is almost academic, unfortunately, for the Jaguars. They had a real opportunity here to get the sweep, but they let it slip through their fingers.
And look at Fuller straight to the hole. And Craig, you can mark this in the history book, chapter 22 for the Jaguars.
Oh, yes.
As Jeremiah Jones will check in the next dead ball.
More like chapter 666, because they're having a really hard time finding their devil of a time finding their offensive rhythm. And also being able to rebound the basketball. That's what's led to these losses, as Elijah Preddy puts 2 more points on the board for himself. He's up to 16 in the game.
They finally get it into Jordan Strongberg. Sewell looking to take it. And we have a block and foul on Singleton.
Well, they're going to give the charge, looks like. They'll give Singleton the charge. It's a call Q Anderson is jealous of right now. He's been trying to get that call all season. I mean, Sewell came running down the court like Marshawn Lynch and just blasted Singleton as if he was the safety as the last line of defense before he got to the end zone.
82-64.
Linton's in the game. Let's get closer to him and feed him down low.
Preddy looking to feed Linton. Stabbed out from behind by Jordan Strongberg.
See, what's happening is Preddy is allowing Jones to force him out away from the basket. That way, Linton has to come out away from the basket.
Linton, 8-footer, no, and coming down with the rebound, the Redhawks. It's one thing the Redhawks have been able to do tonight, out-rebound the Jaguars the entire game.
That's been their biggest issue in a lot of their losses.
Best play of the game done takes Jeremiah Jones baseline. It's 82-66. Coach Creasy calls a timeout. We're going to take it with them.
What you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years.
82-66, 2:18 left. CVCC in facing a full court press by the Jaguars out of the timeout. Presnell trapped off and he's fouled.
Three on Gregory. I mean, at this point, counting the fouls doesn't matter. Jaguars are in the bonus. Oh, excuse me, Catawba's in the double bonus. So Presnell, PD, makes another free throw. In the second half, Presnell just 4 points. He had 7 in the first half, 8 in the first half. As he misses that free throw, rebound comes down to Gregory. So Preddy across the timeline. He's looking around to find somewhere to go with the basketball. Again,
still need to look down low. Hugh Anderson right there in the block, and they're not moving the ball, but just worried about the perimeter shooting is Preddy. Not sure what that shot was, but Dunn loses it right in the hands of Jones.
Stay Jordan, stay Jordan.
14th turnover for the Jaguars.
10-second violation. The Redhawks had a hard time getting the ball over the line. Yeah, I thought it was over and back as well. That's what I was looking for, but the shot clock was at 19, and I think the referees blew it on them.
Jones takes it himself, left-handed side, and it's good. 85-66.
That right there will put the hay in the barn. So Jaguars, PD, will have lost their 5th consecutive game. It will fall to 1-8 here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. And that time, Preddy knocks down the jumper, but comes down on the foot of a Redhawk and is hobbled.
18 minutes too late for that shot. And Sewell with the easy bucket, camping out on that left block.
Tell you what, Sewell in the second half has really come on. 12 points in the second half for Sewell.
Hamrick is fouled by Singleton.
Give it to Singleton. So as you mentioned earlier, PD, we'll be back right here Super Bowl Sunday as Davidson Davey comes in to face the Jaguars. Jaguars will have 2 solid days of rest today, tomorrow, and Saturday, where they get on the court a much earlier start time than they're used to, 3 hours earlier than they're typically accustomed to starting on a Sunday afternoon. A 1 o'clock tip for the men, a 3 o'clock tip for the women, right here on highlevelmedianc.com. As Malik Hamrick makes the first free throw. Got to give it up to Coach Sean Johnston and his team. Took a big L the other day against Cleveland on the road. Traveled 3 hours from Shelby here. They executed better, they rebounded better. They fought through their own adversity, which would be turning the basketball over repeatedly, and are going to leave out of here with a victory. It's going to be a happy trip back up to the mountains for the Redhawks, and for the Jaguars, another lesson learned here. And that's going to do it, PD. 3-2-1, and that is that.
The Jaguars fall 89-68. We'll be right back here with final stats, facts, and figures after word from our sponsors.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started. Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit Back and Relax Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let Sit Back and Relax plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
Sit back and relax. Your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back as the Jaguars fall at home against Catawba Valley Community College 89-68. The final score from the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. Jaguars drop their 5th game in a row and fall to 1-8 at home on the season, losing 89-68. Take a look inside the box for the game. Craig, if a team shoots over 50%, they should win.
Absolutely, and that's what Catawba Valley did. They came out here guns blazing, shot much better from the field, from the perimeter. As they rode that to a victory, they were able to overcome turnovers. They turned the ball over 19 times. They shot poorly from three-point range, but it didn't really matter. As they came out and executed their game plan, they got to the rim. They took advantage of the bigs they did have on the floor. Strong Bird, Justice Pryor, all did a fantastic job tonight.
Yeah, shot 54% from the field, 29% from three. They out-rebounded Jaguars 44-23. Had 19 turnovers, Jaguars with 15. Their biggest lead was 21. And they defeat the Jaguars by 21, 89-68. And the Jaguars fall to 5-14 on the season and look to face the Storm from Davison Davie, which is not going to be an easy task on Super Bowl Sunday right here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium.
But anything can happen. You put these two teams on the floor, and anything can happen. You're going to have to come out, and you have to do things on Sunday you didn't do today, PD. And I talked about it, the second half keys to the game, crashing the boards, playing with some conviction, playing with confidence, having a plan when you go out there with the basketball. It seems like it's more than often than not, I would see them dribbling around at the top of the perimeter with nothing to do with the ball. You get to about 12 on the shot clock, and then you're trying to finally penetrate. I think you got to play a little bit more inside-out game. Let's get it inside to Linton. Let him find the shooters once they start to collapse on the big man in the block.
As the Jaguars face Davis and Davie Storm, who are 22-1, 15-1 in conference play, who had a forfeit the first game of the season against Central Carolina. That's our only loss of the season. Davis and Davie defeated Guilford Tech on Tuesday night, 99-47. Defeated Lenoir 94-53 prior. Defeated at Cleveland 94-69. And Pitt, they defeated Pitt 98-73. Fayetteville Tech, they defeated 88-79 back in January. They defeated Guilford Tech 131-66, and Lenoir 99-71. Craig, I want to thank you for coming in with me again tonight. We'll be back here Super Bowl Sunday at 1 o'clock at 12:50 pregame. We'll have your doubleheader as the Lady Jaguars will be facing Cape Fear Community College following the men's game at 3 o'clock.
And hope everybody can come out. And if you can't come out here to the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium, as always, you can watch right here at highlevelmedianc.com. We'll be right here courtside, just like PD said, pregame at 12:50. All
right, Craig, you want to go with the final box scores for the Redhawks from CVCC?
For the victorious Redhawks traveling back to Hickory, they're going to be taking a win back with them, and they were led in scoring by two players, actually. Nassim Fuller and Chase Sewell both had 16 points on the game. Second leading scorer for them, actually third leading scorer, was Presnell with 12, followed by Ross with 10. Jones and Wofford both had 9 apiece, followed by Malik Hamrick with 8. And then for the Jaguars, PD, they were led also 16 points by Elijah Preddy, so he tied for the game lead with Fuller and Sewell. He had 16 points. Jaden Dunn finished with 14, Michael Linton 13, and Jaden Gregory with 8.
We said it multiple times during the broadcast, Craig, that, Michael Linton could have had a whole lot more, points if they would have forced the ball down low on a mismatch like we were talking driving here today. There wasn't a Red Hawk that had a height advantage on nobody on the Jaguar side. To be outsized, you definitely want to feed the perimeter from the perimeter inside. But, you guys saw it just like we did. The Jaguars were just pulling Linton out away from his territory, away from the surgery room, to where he can operate on the Red Hawks.
That is true. I mean, what happened was, again, you would see the guards getting pushed out towards the three-point line, and then they would be crowded by the defender. And then once the defender crowded them, they had nowhere to go. Linton was open on the low block, but the problem was Linton was coming up in support, and he would have to catch the ball 16, 17 feet away from the rim. That's not his operating space. Just like you said, that's not his wheelhouse. That's not where he likes to get surgical and make his move. He needs to get the ball closer to the rim to be able to do his dirty work.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in on JCC Jaguar Sports Network. On behalf of High Level Media, PD Norris, Craig Green, I'd like to welcome you guys on board again Sunday for a doubleheader starting at 12:50 as the Jaguars face the Storm from Davis and Davie, who are 22-1 on the season with a winning percentage of .957. The final score tonight from the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium, the Jaguars fall 89-68. If you don't wake up proud of yourself in the morning, how do you expect someone to be proud of you? Good night and God bless from Selma, North Carolina.